Howdy, delicious people. I am here today to do more of my Marvel comic book collection. So, when kind of ciphering through this box, it seems that we have a quite a bit of better kind of mixture of things in this box. Because I was kind of tempted to do just kind of another mostly just Spider-Man box again. But with this one, like, there seems to be a little bit more variety. There's kind of a little bit of Spider-Man here. There's some Silver Surfer. There's some She-Hulk. There's some X-Men stuff in here. There's quite a just roundabout number of things. I think there's also some What If in here also. So really, at this point, we're just kind of going on and just kind of combing through whatever's left of the comic book collection and just showcasing it here. So thank you for watching. So let's get into this. First issue we go on to have is Spider-Man 1602, number 1 of 5. Once I found out about this certain issue, it's like, okay, this is just such a strange looking Spider-Man, and I just liked to just cover all the unique, interesting comic book costumes of Spider-Man. Because I wanted to find just a thing that was to try to go on and tell me every single different Spider-Man costume that has ever existed, but like nothing like that is to have been really out there. So it's just really hard to like figure out. Besides maybe going through a Spider-Man video game and going through just trying to find the history of Spider-Man. So now we go on. We have Spider-Man 2099, number 1. Uh, this character, of course, is really interesting to and fun to see him actually in a animated movie, and really also to see just kind of a different kind of Spider-Man. Of course, from the future, but then again, also uh, just a very different Spider-Man with how he was approached in some iterations. Then, of course, we have Spider-Man 29, number 4. I'll read the dialogue here in a second here, the bubble here. Uh, isolate, or, insolent one, you cannot escape the specialists. Whoever the specialist. We then go on and have Spider-Man 2099, issue number 16. I don't know why I found this cover, but I did, so. Alright. Spider-Man 2099, this is issue number 42. And as you guys will know from watching all my other comic book things, you'll know that I like just a cover that has just a load of people on it, and as well as also these kind of just split character things. So, like, I always try to just get those kind of covers because they're the most interesting things to me. Now we have Spider-Men. This would be Eliminated Series 1 of 5. I absolutely loved this series. And I think there was like a sequel that came to this also because of how really popular it was, just because of actually how good it was. Like, this story is to go on and bring in Mysterio, and I was like, oh, this kind of feels like Shattered Dimensions. But yeah, so we have these two Spider-Man kind of forced to work together because it seemed like they were from two different worlds and they were forced to kind of work together. So it was pretty entertaining. And I guess I have another one of 5, and then I have 2 of 5 of Spider-Man. Love that cover. That is amazing. I love that whole kind of like two different but it's kind of like almost like a glass effect. It's pretty cool. Then we have 3 of 5. And 4 of 5. Spider-Man 5 of 5. All right, now we have Spidey Super Stories, whatever this is. Looks like it has both Thanos and Hellcat on it. Who will get the Cosmic Cube? So I think I specifically had gotten this just because it had the Cosmic Cube in it. I was trying, when Avengers came out, I was trying to find any comic book that had the Cosmic Cube in it. And so this was one of those where it had it on the cover. So it's like, oh my god, I gotta get this. I gotta get this because it had the Cosmic Cube. I was like, oh my god. So now we have another homage book. This is to be The Amazing Spider-Man Super Special featuring Scarlet Spider. This is part 1 of 5. The Legend of the Arachniclone. This is to be the fabulous flip book featuring Planet of the Symbiotes. So this is to be the homage cover. And this one I think was actually pretty pricey to get. I just think because there are so few copies of it out there, and plus, like, I think people were just trying to figure out a way to just make something really expensive when it didn't really need to be. This is to be a Planet of the Symbiotes part 1 of 5. The Amazing Spider-Man Super Special. This is number 1. On the back here. All right. Then we have The Amazing Scarlet Spider issue number 2, Cyber War 2 of 4. Joy sticks her name, murders her game. So yeah, like this whole design was just kind of weird and goofy for a cover, but anyways, they took that just very weird design. We have the Web of Scarlet Spider. This is to be issue number 3, Nightmare in Scarlet 1 of 3, The Fury of Firestar. So I think I just straight up got this because Firestar was in it, because of how rare it is that characters to be involved, I think, in Spider-Man stuff. So it's cool that I got this. Oh, it's Web of Spider. It's Web of Spider Scholar. Web of Spider Scholar. Scarlet Spider. I have no idea what I was saying there. Web of Scarlet Spider. That. Issue number 3. The Amazing Scarlet Spider. This is to be, there's a new web slinger in town. This is to have seemingly not a number I can find. It says number 1 at the very top there, as you can see. Virtual Morality. This is to be part 2 of 4, so it can't be a number 1. But it has the number 1 on top there. I'm trying to figure out if there is a... Can't quite spot it. So that is this cover. Now we have All of the Power None of the responsibility. Scarlet Spider, issue number 16. So this was just a real cool cover that I just wanted to get. And then also, it had that really cool costume that I really liked. We have Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. This is issue number 1. And in the back here, we have Secret Wars 2, issue number 1. Who is the Beyonder? So I really liked Super Wars, and then also the 90s Spider-Man had covered Super Wars or Secret Wars. So that was cool. That was great. We have a reprint. We have a Marvel milestone. This is to be Secret Wars number 8, the symbiote suit issue. All right. Now we're transitioning on to She-Hulk number 1. So having a green superhero character really stood out, plus green superhero female character stand out. And also, like, I liked how, like, she was getting more and more muscular in some books and stuff like that, so I always really just liked She-Hulk just for how unique she was, and also how she was an attorney, and that was kind of different, so really I was to go on and just like the character, even though really it was just like, ooh, look at this character, look at how look how she looks, because really when remembering her in the old, like, Hulk cartoon, where she's this very seductress character, is kind of just fun to watch. We have the Savage Sensational She-Hulk issue number 100. So I really like this cover. Also, this cover is to be identical to the Iron Man 100 comic book also that I'd shown in another one of these things here. Then we have Planet Without a Hulk. This is to be She-Hulk number 16. This is to be the Wolverine She-Hulk Wendigo story. Eventually this one kind of just ends in a draw where they just kind of have, like, Wendigo kind of be, I think, brought back to, like, Nick Fury or whatever, and it's just like it ends up just kind of being that they couldn't figure out how to couldn't figure out how to beat this Wendigo, because of course it's just too powerful of an entity. This is to be She-Hulk number 37. And then there's to be the She-Hulk reboot, when they were doing that whole Marvel Now thing, and She-Hulk was to have been drawn very different than what she is normally to have been drawn. So it's like, okay, these comic books are just very weird, and like, I was like, okay, like, this is like the cheapo issue that they didn't really care about, so they just kind of drew it in this weird different style. And it just kind of, like, it kind of irked me that they, like, had her to kind of be done in this kind of different, well, maybe Hawkeye was maybe done in that same kind of style, but I don't know, it was just kind of, I just was irked by it. Silver Surfer number 1, Communion part 1. This is a really cool, I'm not much of a science fiction guy with much of my comic book stuff. As far as, like, in space adventures or whatever, but, like, Silver Surfer is very much different. We have Silver Surfer issue number 50. We have Thanos and Surfer on the cover here. We have Slingers issue number 1. So Ricochet slings into action. So people will probably have no idea what this is. So at one point, Spider-Man had gone on to try to escape the Spider-Man identity, and so he went on to create all these other costumes. And at some point, he was kind of randomly like being them, but eventually, Spider-Man went back to being Spider-Man, and so these Slingers characters ended up going on and taking these costumes and just became these other characters. Hence why this is just be called Slingers, because web slingers, and so it's kind of a take on that. Next up, we get Stan Lee meets the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the issue number 1. I, of course, had to get this because it was a homage to, of course, the iconic comic book cover, and also having Stan Lee on this. I'm like, okay, I just have to get this. Stan Lee meets the Thing, issue number 1. This Stan, this monster. So we have Stan Lee as kind of a Fantastic Four-like character. Yeah, another kind of like, of course I was going to get this because I love the Thing cover. Then we go on to have Sunfire and the Big Hero 6, issue number 2. I think at one point I did have issue number 1 in some other place somewhere. So I don't know why these aren't together, but they aren't. So we have a one-shot Thanos, the Final Threat. This is kind of a very interesting, just smattering of characters all here again. I'm just seduced by images like that. So we then have the Thanos Quest. This is another one shot. It's a pretty big, thick book. Yeah. This is, of course, right around the time of Infinity War, where I assumed that it's like, okay, let's get anything of big importance of Thanos, because if anything, people are going to be grabbing him up like crazy because of this movie. So this is to be Thunderbolts number 1. Regardless of how people felt about this this book, I absolutely love this story. Like, this was like the perfect team to put together in my mind, because it's like, okay, here's a bunch of people that aren't really all that well used, and they're put into a team where they can actually be used in one book. I'm like, thank God this is actually happening. And then I would go on to find that like Ghost Rider is involved in this team. I'm like, oh my God, like, so yeah, I really did try as much as possible to read this book as long as I could, but eventually I kind of gave up with it. Anyways, we also have the variant of this too, because it just came with it. So we had Thunderbolts issue number 2. All right, now we're into Ultimate 6 issue number 5, which has this like cool sand cover here. And these are going to be some Ultimate titles, it looks like. This is the Ultimate Comics, The Ultimates, issue number 19. Reconstruction. We have the Iron Patriot on the cover here. Then we have Ultimate Comics X-Men issue number 21. We have the X-Men and we have the Iron Patriot here. So we have Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine. This is the issue number 1. after going on and watching the Hulk versus Wolverine movie, I'm like, I gotta get my hands on anything that has Hulk and Wolverine on it, just because of just how good these battles always were. Plus, also realizing that uh, that Wolverine started in a Hulk book is like, okay, I just want to get my hands on any of this because it's gonna be really good. Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine. This is issue number 2. Warlock, issue number 5. This is to have Spider-Man in it, guest starring the Avengers and Captain Marvel. All right, we have Weapon X. This is issue number 1. All new first issue. The Hunt for Sabretooth Part 1. I really like this cover. Also, I think this is around the time of probably X-Men Origins, so the whole Weapon X thing was just really appealing to me. All right. It's actually kind of surprising, like, that I didn't have more werewolf by or werewolf or Moon Knight or Werewolf by Night stuff, but if anything, we're gonna kind of cover some Werewolf by Night stuff here. This is the Werewolf by Night. This is the Full Moon Rise Werewolf Kill. This is the issue number 1. This is the Werewolf by Night. Guest starring Ghost Rider. This is issue number 6. Alone against the Children of the Night. All right. Now we're getting into a what if issue. What if Spider-Man, Back in Black? Also, what if the Runaways became the Young Avengers, part 4 or 5? So, this is to be a what if number 1, and it's Back in Black. So, really, with Spider-Man, you eventually have so many different changes of costume that it doesn't really matter what. So here is a Iron Man demon in a armor. What if issue number 1. So for those of you going on and realizing that there could possibly be a Tony Stark who's being Doctor Doom right now, well, that issue can go on and be a thing that you might want to collect. What if the alien costume had possessed Spider-Man? This is issue number 4 of What If. So this is an issue where I think what ends up happening is the symbiote goes on to completely take hold of Peter Parker, and then it moves on from character to character to character and becomes more infinitely stronger, and then it just kind of wipes out like kind of everybody, because it ends up going to like the strongest being, whatever it can just kind of latch on to, I think is how that all plays out. So that's why you have Hulk and Thor on the book, because eventually it kind of gets there too. Then we have What If the Amazing Spider-Man had not married Mary Jane. This is issue number 20. And next to it, oh no wait, same issue but twice. So all right, we have What If. What if the Amazing Spider-Man had married the Black Cat? Issue number 21. I read this story and it's very disappointing. Yeah. Uh Eventually he goes on and he marries her, and eventually, like, there's death because of it. Of course there is. So it kind of just becomes a waste of time. I'm like, like I would have liked to have seen like a what if it worked. What if Spider-Man had rescued Gwen Stacy at last, the most eagerly awaited what if of all. So this is to be what if issue number 24, I think is what it says here. It doesn't really matter because they brought back Gwen Stacy countless times. So kill her, don't kill her, she'll be brought back anyways. She'll do her own Gwenpool thing. Yeah, like, it doesn't really matter. Marvel Comics Group, the X-Men ask, what if Phoenix had not died? There's that for you. All right. What if Captain America had formed the Avengers? This is issue number 29. So it looks like we have the Wendigo, we have the early versions of a different kind of Power Man. Looks like we have Namor, and we have like a Punisher Iron Man going on here. All right. Next up, we have what if the Avengers defeated everybody? So I think this is the very first ever what if issue that I ever collected out of everything. Like, I think this was the first one. This was right around the time that Avengers was a thing. And yeah, so I think this is the very first what if thing I ever collected. So, yeah, like, because I was so interested of like, yeah, like, let's see this one team beat everybody. Because it just seemed funny to me. We have a what if issue number 51. The Punisher became Captain America. Honestly, the Punisher has kind of become everything, so it kind of just makes sense that he would go on and also be Captain America. What if Spider-Man's parents destroyed his family? Yeah. What if issue 61? Kind of a crazy cover there. Yeah, I would go on to see all kinds of what ifs. Like, what if, what if Aunt May died instead of Uncle Ben? What if Uncle Ben became a murderer? All kinds of things. It's crazy. So next up, what if issue number 72? What if Spider-Man became a murderer, featuring the Lethal Lizard? Yeah, what if Spider-Man killed? What if... This is issue number 76. What if Peter Parker had destroyed Spider-Man? Featuring the final appearance of the Watcher in the pages of What If. So, here's a little thing here. I had gone on to play a game, and they actually did do this. Because eventually, by the end of one of the video games, I think it was like Edge of Time or something like that, Peter Parker does go on and destroy whoever the Spider-Man is. Yeah, because that does go on, and that is actually a thing. So I think I got that specific book because it covered that. What if Aunt May had died instead of Uncle Ben? Yeah, so this is that issue. Alright, now we finally got out of the what ifs. Alright, so now we're on to Savage Wolverine. This is issue number 1. I think this is, yeah, this is Marvel Now. So, of course, during Marvel Now, they had a plethora of different Wolverine issues. Is like, okay, which one is the more interesting one? And I think I mostly landed on Savage Wolverine as the more interesting title. Savage Wolverine. This is issue number 2. I don't really like these covers though. Their covers are freaking boring, boring and bland. We have a Ultimate Comics Wolverine. This is issue number 1. Legacies. This is to be the iconic cover. This is to be Wolverine. I think it says issue number 25 on the top, but either way, it's the iconic claw one. All right, this is from Marvel Now. This is Wolverine number 1. This is Wolverine number 1 at last in his own monthly series. Believe me, Wolverine will get endless. And, like, how many times can he go on and be in so many books? Because this guy is becoming such overwhelmingly popular. They'll do anything with this character. They'll throw him into the Avengers. They'll do all kinds of stuff. We then have Wolverine issue number 2. Of course, I got this because this has Silver Samurai in it. And, of course, it's very much like the movie, so that's why I got it. Wolverine issue number 10. There's a killer loose in the forest, and Sabretooth is his name. Kind of the face of both Sabretooth and Wolverine in this issue are kind of little bit gross there. Anyways. We have Wolverine issue number 55 of the introduction of the madness of Sylar. I think there's 2 books in one here. Yes, there is. We have Wolverine issue number 57. On sale twice monthly. So I think here's where they kind of took from the movie the whole story about Wolverine having that girl, and eventually that girl had a son. That son ends up becoming Daken, or Daken for some of you people out there. I don't know how to exactly be the perfect pronouncing of that name. I just like to say Daken. We have another Wolverine issue here. I don't know exactly which number it is, but it's to have on the cover the word Princess Bar. X-Men Deluxe February, whatever that means, but this is to be Wolverine issue number 1. Yet another issue number 1. Alright, this is to be Wolverine issue number 2. When all the covers start to look more like paintings. This is Wolverine issue number 3. Welcome to Westfall. I think it is Diner or... Brotherhood Part 3 is the thing that it says on the very bottom there. All right. Wolverine issue number 7. Big, huge, massive claws in the cover there. Man, for some of these covers, it's like, man, like they were ready to go on and just kind of like, hey, just kind of draw Wolverine. However, so this is to be Wolverine issue number 9. So this is to be a homage from a movie that had Martin Sheen in it, either Apocalypse Now or something Apocalypse Now, I think. And so they kind of ripped off that whole kind of cover thing. This says Coyote Crossing Part 3. So I got this because it homaged the cover, and then I come to find out that started to be a staple, that they kind of ripped off that thing there. Wolverine issue number 11, Coyote Crossing, Part 5. I actually did like this cover, because it's actually cool looking. Wolverine Dream. This is issue number 12, and of course, if you know, I like mirror matches, so of course I got this book because mirror matches. Funny enough, this is mirror match, but both the faces don't look the exact same. But anyways. Casualties of War. This is Wolverine issue number 48. A cover that has Wolverine and bones. So, if anything, if you guys remember the Deadpool Wolverine movie, look at this. Yeah, so this is to go on and be Wolverine number 16. Kind of a cool cover here. Alright, now we have Wolverine, who's homaging Spider-Man. This is the Wolverine, a variant edition. This is Wolverine issue number 18, The Legend of the Beast Within. So even Wolverine is getting in the homage game. We have Wolverine issue number 55. Alright, now we have Wolverine and Captain America, issue 1 of 4. Of course, I was going to get this book because, really, I had gone on to see, I think, some animated cartoon or something somewhere where it had the past of Captain America, and there was a character that looked like Wolverine, but they didn't exactly state that it was Wolverine. They were trying to get away with, like, hey, Wolverine was in that past, but yeah, they didn't fully try to be exact about it, because yeah, I think it was just trying to get away with something. Wolverine First Class. This is issue number 1. So yeah, of course, because First Class was a thing, so I got that. Plus, also, this looked like Days of Future Past, so I had to get this cover. So, Wolverine issue number 1. God dang, do I just have so many issue number 1s of Wolverine? Judgment Night. Alright, we have now Marvel Knights Wolverine. This is issue number 16, where Wolverine is just throttling his way through a bunch of guys in suits. Now we have Wolverine Noir. This is issue number 1. And this is issue number 2. All right. And we have Wolverine Noir issue number 3. Yeah, these noir issues were kind of were pretty interesting, but then also it was kind of like, man, some of the language that they're using, some of these things is kind of ugh. Wolverine Origins issue number 26. So this is Daken or Daken. All right. Marvel Knights, Wolverine and Punisher. This is issue number 1. A real fun crossover comic book here. Really enjoyed it. Wolverine and Punisher issue number 2. This is the Wolverine Weapon X. This is a variant edition number 1. Alright. Before Wolverine, there was Weapon X. This is Marvel Comics Presents. So this is Weapon X number 72. Alright, this is the Wolverine Weapon X files. And there isn't a number on this whatsoever. It's to just go on and just have a number of characters all just kind of in these Polaroids here. So I just thought that was a really cool cover. So I got it. Wolverine Exile. This is issue 1 of 5. Issue 2 of 5. Uh, 3 of 5. 4 of 5. And 5 of 5. All right, now, what a coincidence. Lights, camera, and action. This is the Wonder Man number 1. Yeah, I'd watched the show, and that was the thing that exists now. Yeah. To be quite frank, like I don't really hate it, but also like I'm like, this was nothing. Like it doesn't feel like they're doing content anymore. Like it just feels like they're trying to even avoid as much as possible to do anything just superhero related and superhero content. It's so strange. The ideas that they're just throwing out there now. Uncanny X-Force number 25. I got this because of the cover, because it has like Deadpools and Wolverines and now next up we have X-Force. X-Force number 11, Domino Revealed. This is to be X-Force number 56. Too many Deadpools. So, of course, there's an obvious reason why I got this book. Anything with Deadpool in it. We have a X-Man. After Xavier, the Age of Apocalypse. This is being X-Men Deluxe. And there it is. Like, I'm not seeing a number anywhere. Alright, now we have from Marvel Now. We have the all new X-Men number 1. When they're going back to the blue and yellow costumes. So I think that was right around the time where I was like, oh yeah, like let's go back to the blue and yellow because it worked for First Class, so let's kind of go back to the old standby of doing just those colors because it just seemed to make the most sense. Because they were trying to go back to like the classic look of those characters. So, we have the Amazing X-Men. This is be a X-Men Deluxe. This is after Xavier, the Age of Apocalypse. I'm trying to think if there's a number on here. So confused. We have a Astonishing X-Men. This is 51. This is to have a gay marriage being done for the issue, so it's kind of very important for me to grab this one up because I thought it was a very important issue. I like wedding books, so I collected that. Wish I would have gone on and gotten the Fantastic Four wedding one, because I don't think I had that one, but it's probably pretty pricey. The End! Book 1. Isn't that funny? You have the words The End, but then you say Book 1. X-Men, Dreams and Demons. This is issue number 5. This is to have Madeline Pryor on the cover here. So, probably should have gone on and be right before X-Men 97 came out. I probably should have gave that a read. We have The End, Book 2. X-Men, Heroes, and Marauders. Martyrs? Martyrs? This is issue number 1. Martyrs? Heroes and Martyrs? I have no idea. This is The End That Never Ends. This is to be Book 2. X-Men, Heroes, and Martyrs, issue number 2. The End, Book 2, X-Men, Heroes, and Martyrs. This is issue number 3. I think I just got these books ironically. The End, Book 2, X-Men, Heroes, and Martyrs. This is issue number 4. The End, Book 2, X-Men, Heroes, and Martyrs. This is issue number 5. And this is issue number 6. All right. Let's take a second here to do some adjustments. All right. Next up, finally out of the end, we have a new New X-Men Academy X. This is issue number 1. It says in the bottom here, the story begins here. No, I think the number 1 tells you that. Really? What gave it away? New X-Men New X-Men Academy X. This is issue number 5. Choosing sides, 5 of 6. This is to be a New X-Men Academy X. This is issue number 18, House of M. This has Sunfire on it, and that's why I got it. Same title. This is issue number 19. Alright, now we have New X-Men. This is issue number 25. An ending X-Men fans cannot miss. Yeah, I'm sure desperately everybody's clamoring for that book. Oh my god! I need to read that story. New X-Men number 27. This was a really interesting book because it had all these people in these graves. I was like, what is this? Like, I had to check it out. I had to see what it was all about. And then also, we then follow this up with the New Mutants. This is issue number 38, where they're doing the same thing. So, kind of a homage book to that. New X-Men number 32. New X-Men. I'm trying to see if there's a number here. Can't seem to find it, but New X-Men. New thing, yeah. Wolverine and the X-Men. Is the next coming here. This is the issue. It says 42. So yeah, this is a homage to Days of Future Past. That's why I got it. Alright, now we're getting into some Ultimate X-Men. This is Ultimate X-Men number 1. Ultimate X-Men 1, 2, and 3, because this is a volume book, it seems. This is the collector's edition. I have Ultimate X-Men Annual number 2. Ultimate X-Men number 14. Looks like Gambit. Ultimate X-Men number 18. Ultimate X-Men number 25. I think this is Colossus giving Wolverine the fastball. The move where Colossus basically just chucks Wolverine and then Wolverine goes flying. Eventually they did that in the Last Stand movie. And then there were games where they did that thing also, where it just kind of became a thing that you needed to kind of just do that move. Ultimate X-Men, this is issue number 32. Ultimate X-Men number 35. Ultimate X-Men number 38. $58. Issue 60. $69. Yeah. Ultimate X-Men issue number 70. $71. $72. It says on the bath there, on the bottom there, masked marble. All right. All right. Ultimate X-Men issue number 73. $74. I guess I didn't get the 75. 76. And 77. All right. So now we have Ultimate X-Men number 78. These are the last few here. Number 79. Then it jumps to 82. Cool Nightcrawler cover. 86. And strangely enough, there's to be two 87s here. This one and also this one. So that is to be it for this one. Yeah, so thank you all for watching this. Yeah, I only have so few boxes left, but I hope they will have some interesting content within them at some point. And after, because I'm kind of hesitant about going on and covering like the random box of stuff that I have, just because of just so all over the place it is. But I probably should just try to just cover that one next, because that one's gonna be the hardest one out of all these. So that may go on and just, I just may force myself to just do that one, just because it's the most challenging one, because there's just random bunch of in there. So with that said, thank you for going on and watching this, because I hope that I'll do a few more of these kind of videos, and hopefully I will try to squeak in to try to do a review on top of all what I'm already doing today, because I'm just trying to push as much content into one day. because really I'm just going on and looking at like, well, like things are just not kind of going the way I want them right now, and plus also it's not helping that I'm just doing so few content, or kind of doing kind of just very sporadic stuff that is either just because of just like, well, like there was such a long time where it was just like I was just pounding out so much content that I was okay, like I just really needed a break, and then that break just really hurt things, and like when I was to kind of just do less videos and just less things, like it really just started to show uh through the view counts of things. So it's like, oh well, like there's always gonna be ups and downs and ebbs and flows, but if anything, I'm gonna go on and just try to do my best and just keep hoping that eventually I'll go on and I'll uh I'll just have fun doing this content, and we'll see where it goes. So thank you for watching this. Bye everybody. Bye everybody.